Before I get too high, we have a weightlifting question for you.
Okay.
Al is incredibly diesel with his arms. Actually has to not lift weights or else
They get bigger.
they'll get bigger. He has to actually not lift weights.
Wow.
But his legs
Will not grow at all.
Yeah, what
will
can we
not
do?
grow at all.
What do you do to try to make them grow?
Squats, deadlifts.
Really? They won't grow at all?
Stop. Swear to God.
Consistently works out.
Yeah.
And the arms doesn't touch.
Yeah.
Well, look at John Jones.
I never
John
do
Jones is a great
bicep
example.
curl, nothing.
John Jones is one of
Al's not like that at all with his girl. Al is like an amazing guy to his girl and everything. What were you talking about?
I meant about his athleticism. John has tiny calves.
Yes.
They're tiny. They're like almost non-existent. It's the craziest thing. And he works out fucking hard. Nobody works out harder than John Jones. Just powerlifting, deadlifting, squats.
Yes.
Calves are still tiny. Tiny. Like tiny calves. Like it makes no sense. Look how little his calves are.
Yeah.
Like you can see there, they're so small. And he's got like literally the perfect frame for fighting. Because he only has muscle where he needs it. He's got shoulders, he's got arms,
Yeah, you
he's
don't
got
need the calf
he's got
muscle.
thighs. He doesn't need his calves. He's so long. It's like he's designed in a lab. Like if you wanted to design a perfect like physique for fighting, I think it's John Jones. And he's a master at distance. He's the best at using this gift that he has, which is being very tall for the weight class, is incredible, like for keeping a guy away from you.
You think if he fought Ngannou, he'd win?
You never know, you know? I mean, John Jones is a tough guy to bet against, but he's never really fought a heavyweight. He's trained with heavyweights for sure. You know,
And now
when
the
you get a
distance
guy
is
like
mitigated,
Ngannou,
too.
Ngannou has the nuclear option on any person that lives. Any person that lives, if Ngannou, boom.
Yeah.
If he catches you with one of those ones that he hit Rosenstrike with, or that he knocked out Stipe with, or the Alistair Overeem left hook,
Yeah.
that Alistair Overeem one was one of the most disturbing punches I've ever seen a guy get hit with, because he was off before like he went to the ground. He got shut off immediately, and his head went almost all the way back, like right.
Slam, then came back. And then he hit him with a hammer
Yeah,
fist.
but I
when
mean,
he
his
was on
head
the-
went back while he was standing
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
Like, pull that video up. Watch this,
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Fuck me.
bro.
Yeah.
And that guy he did that to, that's Alistair Overeem.
Yeah.
Like, that's a big guy. Like, Alistair Overeem is the former K1 Grand Prix champion. Alistair Overeem was the Strikeforce heavyweight champion. Alistair Overeem is a fucking savage. Yeah. He's really good. So for Francis to do that to Alistair Overeem, I mean, Alistair Overeem is one of the most dedicated strikers.
fuck.
You want to see how good Alistair Overeem is? Pull up Alistair Overeem versus Brock Lesnar.
Sound
Bro,
Marcus
this was
sweating
back
right
when they
now.
were...
Mark hasn't done this much Googling this fast ever.
They were doing a smell test back then for steroids. That's all they did. They're like, yeah, you're good. Everybody passed. It's so ridiculous. When you look at Brock Lesnar and he's standing right next to, like, look at the two of them. How the fuck did he pass anything? They used to call him Ubereem back then because, like, he wasn't like a real person.
Yeah.
He was like a comic book superhero.
Yeah.
His physique was perfect, and his kickboxing skills world class, dude. I mean, K1 Grand Prix champion. When they didn't test, or when they tested very lightly, Alistair was running the show.
Yeah.
I would have loved to see what happened if they just like was testing.
We need
Guys, we're gonna do our best.
Wait, do any of
Everybody wants to do their best.
do any of the other organizations not test? The bare knuckle
Yes.
shit, they're not testing, right?
I don't know how they test. They test depending upon the commission. Like some commissions are very strict. Like you can't pull any funny business in Nevada. Nevada's got it down pat. They're the best athletic commission. They do the most big time fights. They have everything smooth and polished.
Yeah.
But some commissions are wild.
Yeah.
Like Michael Bisping got passed
With one
multiple
eye, right?
times with one eye.
Yeah.
Like how could they be doing a good job? How is that possible? Who the fuck let him do that? I mean, all respect and props to Michael Bisping, because when people talk about toughness, toughness, like to what extent? What about a guy who loses an eye and then doesn't tell anybody because he wants to keep fighting and wins 10 fights plus the world title with one fucking eye?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I don't want to tell a guy who can't do that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, I don't want you to do that,
Yeah.
but I don't want to tell a guy who can't do that.
Hey, why is it that when guys get knocked out, they get chinny?
Well, Chuck Liddell told me that it's because your brain is trying to protect you because it knows you're too tough and you're going to take more shots. And it knows those shots are damaging you. And so instead of letting you just be tough and take it, your brain, after you've been shut off a few times, just lets you go out quicker.
And do they know the amount of times?
No one knows because it varies. Some people, you could also catch someone at a point in their career where they've been concussed, and then maybe they've been concussed at the gym, and then they get knocked out 1 or 2 times that year, and it's a real problem. But then they take time off, and they come back, and they're good. So it's like, is it that they're getting damaged a lot in training too? Or maybe they've lost a step? Are they coming into a fight damaged?
Yeah.
Because sometimes guys come into fights, like Schaub talked about that, back when he was training with all those guys in Colorado. Like they would have some crazy ass wars, and guys would get banged up really bad in the gym, and then they would fight and they would already be kind of fucked.
That's the football thing.
Yeah.
It's like those guys are getting concussed in practice and they're putting them back out there.
Schaub used to spar with Shane Carwin.
Yeah.
Shane Carwin's fists are 2 of my fists.
Yeah.
I'm not exaggerating. He was a preposterous man. And Schaub used to spar that dude. Yeah. And Shane Carwin was probably the single biggest one-punch, other than Ngannou, striker ever in the UFC. Shane Carwin knocked a lot. Look at that with Shane Carwin.
Oh, that's a big boy.
Dude, he was a house.
That's a big boy.
He was the interim champion, and he almost got Brock Lesnar. He had him fucked up in the first round, and he was on top of him and beating the shit out of him, but he gassed out.
All right, guys, we're going to take a break for a second because we got to be less high.